Previously on Quantum Kickflip.
They said that any recall notices from Kindred had better get lost in delivery. Trev, what have you gotten yourself mixed up in?
Flying sort of in the same direction is a drone. You can tell that it is an Operaeblan make. You can tell that it has recording equipment. And before you can do anything further, it explodes. Hello, Woldton. I'm calling to check in. See, you haven't been spending as much time with your friends lately, and the promises you make to your friends are important. 3 figures have descended on you and Sequence. You see this person drawing blood from Sequence. Brinley, you don't know what you've done. There's a log on that tablet. It's been unlocked. Files have been opened. There's a log of that. He's gonna know. Across the screens of every tower in Operaeblan, an ad begins to circulate. The text reads, "Have you seen Brinley Zerk?" with a phone number along the bottom for the Sword Sliders.
Hey everyone, I have to go. Please don't follow me. It's very dangerous. Don't trust Shimmer. Don't trust the arborists. Take care of each other.
With the hero of Lansden gone, the residents of the towers collectively hold their breath as the future of Operaeblan hangs by a thread. And welcome back to another episode of Quantum Kickflip, a Slugblaster actual play podcast. My name is Laena, I am your host and your Slugmaster, and with me are some of my best and funniest friends in the whole world who are going to introduce themselves to you now. As you introduce yourselves, players, I want to know, what is your character's guilty pleasure?
Hello, I'm Liam. I play Helix Pinnacle, the Smarts playbook with the Hardlight board, and I think his guilty pleasure is kind of like a weird snack that you kind of maybe, you have those snacks that not only is a little bit strange, but more the way you eat it is strange, like eating peanut butter directly out of the jar or like frosting directly out of the jar. So I think he's got a couple of those, but it's just the like nutrient paste that everyone in web is served. You can like add little flavor shots to it. And he's got like a weird combination where he adds Operaeblan pineapple to like a protein paste. And anyone who knows, the protein paste settings knows that that's a really gross, weird combination, especially because he doesn't put it into a pouch. He just like suckles it right out of the tube. So like middle of the night, he'll wake up and suckle some pineapple protein tube. If anyone saw him, he'd have some explaining to do.
Absolutely nobody say pineapple protein tube 5 times fast.
Hi, my name is Michael Vetsch, and I'm here playing Woldton Wick, the chill playbook with the robot companion. And I think for Wolt, I don't know if this counts as like a guilty pleasure, but it's a thing he likes to do. He'll just like go to a movie theater and say like, I'd like 1 ticket to surprise me. Just like he'll go and see whatever. He doesn't know what he's going to see, but he'll go to a movie alone, and like Kindred brings in movies from all kinds of dimensions. You never know what you're gonna see.
That feels like such a chill playbook move to be like 1 ticket to whatever, man.
Hello, my name is David Ray, and I play Trev 4, the Heart playbook, and he has the hyper-optic visor. And I think Trev 4's, guilty pleasure is that he doesn't have to go to a physical computer to do it. It's all being written and put into a part of his hard drive, sectioned off so nobody can ever read it. But he writes some Three's Company fanfic.
He does. Yes. Yeah, he does.
Try to scan it over and like all these wacky situations and everything like that. And there's been times when he's tried to put it up onto, some sort of net group or whatever, but it gets scanned for like, oh, this was made by an AI. This is made by an AI. And so he's not allowed to post it weirdly. Yeah. So he's like, okay, but he has the, seasons 7, 8, 9, and 10 all written out in a file.
Who's his ship? Who's his OTP?
I'm assuming all 3.
That's why they call the show that. Hey, I'm Robyn. I play Maeveline Xandross, the Grit playbook with the photonic jacket. And the obvious one for Maeve is she likes all sorts of greasy cheeseburgers, pepperoni pizzas, anything with meat on it, which is a big no know in the Arborist Temple. And I think she is starting to, where that might not have been a guilty pleasure before, she's starting to feel a little more conflicted about it than she used to as she grows more in line with the Arborist Temple. But Liam already did a food one, so instead I'm going to say Maeve is the type to like present herself as having really cool and interesting musical taste. But she really just is into tempo. Into the latest pop hit. She pretends she's like, oh yeah, I'm really into Paula the Ape Woman from Null. Like that's totally my jam. But then if you actually catch her working out, she's got her headphones on and softly singing to herself, "Don't you wanna know how tempo do?"
Very good. And as I mentioned, my name is Laena. I am your host and your Slugmaster, and I take a lot of pleasure in recording these podcasts, and if that's a guilty pleasure, lock me up.
Plead guilty to having a nice time with my friends.
Yeah. Take that, cops. Speaking of guilt, things really went down last session, and we're gonna explore the ramifications of that. Let's play some Slugblaster!
Woo. Yeah!
Cycles of shifts come and go. Each member of Goldstar Disaster in turn is questioned by authorities, and each of you answers truthfully that you don't know anything. No evidence points to collusion with Brinley, and so you are declared free to go. Though you can't shake the feeling, perhaps not unfamiliar but stronger than ever, that you are being watched. The public incrimination of Brinley Zirk and the dissolution of Post Host has a ripple effect that disrupts communication across all 3 towers. Passwords are spontaneously reset, sent messages get caught in a holding pattern of never being delivered, and phone calls glitch out unless the tower code exactly matches that of the caller. If anyone in Goldstar Disaster attempts to access your private NexoChat room, you realize that you can't. The data for it has been reset, and to get back in, you need an access code from the creator of the room. Then, one shift, each of you gets an invitation. A digital version is sent to Goldstar Disaster's social media account, and a physical copy finds its way to your home. It reads, "To the esteemed members of Goldstar Disaster, the pleasure of your company is kindly requested by the Board of Kindred Multiversal, the Council of Lansdowne Enterprise, and Web Corporation to attend the Operaeblan Fellowship function. This event is an historic assembly of the most notable figures of Operaeblan and beyond, and will take place aboard the jewel of the Kindred Cruise Line fleet, the Multiversal Odyssey. Enjoy daring adventure, ultimate relaxation, culinary bounties, and much more in harmony with the elites of all 3 Operaeblan towers. Kindly see below for pickup instructions for your respective tower. Formal dress is required for the opening gala." Is there anything any of you wants to do to prepare for this event?
Maeve will go to her closet in the Arborist Temple after looking at this, and she opens it up. I think it's a pretty modest closet. Maeve isn't a big, like, fancy clothes fashion person. So it's a lot of, like, very nondescript sort of durable clothing, because she kind of just wears the Arborist robe all the time.
Yeah.
That's, like, the thing, is her Arborist jacket robe thingy. And so she opens up her closet and kind of squints, looking for anything that could qualify as formal wear. And her eyes land on a pair of Desnine sharkskin pants and a phoenix feather coat. And is like, she sighs and pulls the hanger out of the closet.
Nice.
I think on the note of dress wear, Wolt has changed out of his normal black pants and that one blazer that he wore to the party to a distinct black suit, which looks identical, but it is a matched set as opposed to a blazer and separate pants.
Oh yeah, and that's huge. So important that the jacket and the pants match.
Oh yeah, you could tell they have the exact same hex code and sheen to them.
Yeah.
He's also really cranked up the stiffness setting on his floating tie so that it moves around less.
Stiff ties are in.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's interesting you bring up color and like the hex code for your black. Laena, you said that like even though this is a Kindred cruise ship, it's all towers are sort of present, like the upper echelon of society.
Yes.
Then I think Helix is going to dress in what would be Webb's most formal attire. And he is going to wear a black jumpsuit, but not just any black jumpsuit, like a Fanta black jumpsuit.
Yes.
Vanta black. I think I just said Fanta.
An Operaeblan, it is called Fanta
Yeah, you know what in Operaeblan it's called?
Yeah,
Fanta black. And it's the blackest black you can, it like literally no light can be absorbed by it. It's the blackest jumpsuit you can wear. And I think he's even going to shave his head, which is the sort of web equivalent of like a very finely done hair, is to shave it with leaving very deliberate straight lines throughout, as if to sort of ape the style of the slime tubes that run through web. And it I don't know what it exactly looks like, but it has something to do to sort of represent what floor he's from and what branch of the organization he is part of. And so almost like a barcode. He's already got one barcode in his head, but he literally shaves like a social status barcode into his head, and his side part hair is gone, and now he is symmetrical because all of his hair is gone.
Dang, I love that.
Yeah.
Trev 4 decides to go into one of the body shops to work on, going to make himself look good. And he's going to get one of those chroma flare paint jobs, where those cars that have like the two colors depending on what angle of the sun you look at. So it's like, he's fully gold, but also then there's like red from Kindred. And so like, depending on how you look at him, he looks pretty sharp. And then also he's remodeled the glass that is on his face. Got that to be like a shiny metal, like it looks like it's silvery and everything like that. He's still able to see through it, and you can still see the digitized face on it, but it's just like he's very shiny.
Damn.
And he did get a ticket because it did get like reflect light into like security guard's eyes.
Yeah,
like, this is too much. You need to get a matte finish on it. It's like, well, but. Officer, I am very important. I'm going into that, and points towards the big old ship. And
Yeah. And like, I'll let you off this time because you're going to that.
Thank you. It does help when I have status.
It sure does. And there is one more thing that needs to happen for you to prepare for this trip. Helix, can I get a D6 roll, please? Try and roll a 3 or higher.
Ooh. A 5 will do.
A 5 will do.
Rolling 5 and feeling fine.
Your work as a variable of the Pinnacle project continues, but you will not be afflicted by a slam for this run. Your slam count goes up to 3. Next time, if you roll a 1, 2, or 3, you get a slam.
Not even worried about it.
All right. Well, that's fine then. Your pickup instructions give you special access to a higher floor of your tower. You're taken to a space that might resemble an airport to us players. There are chairs to wait on, shops and restaurants, and gates. This area is against an outer wall of your tower, facing the inner triangle. As such, the light from neon advertisements on neighboring towers pours into the room. The Odyssey arrives, and you line up to board through a gate. What you witness is a huge hovercraft, its entire bottom side pulsating with invisible grav-repulsion slush collectors. It twinkles with multicolored lights shining through its multitude of windows, through which you think you can see trees, ice sculptures, and maybe a roller coaster. The top side is hard to see from this angle, but you definitely see a water slide poking out and winding around. You board the Multiversal Odyssey, and as soon as you do, you're swept along by an immaculately uniformed robot into a whirlwind of introductions. In the span of minutes, you meet important people from all 3 towers. Kindred executives with powerfully colorful suits and asymmetrical dyed haircuts, Lansden foremen in durable clothes with wrinkles around their eyes and calluses on their hands, and web officials whose metallic-toned clothes look like they were vacuum-sealed to their bodies. You were then taken through the gala hall on a cursory tour of this floor of the Odyssey. The robot proudly rattled off a litany of amenities that promptly shoved the names of the executives you should remember out of your head, showing off one breathtaking neon-lit room after another. On your tour, you are waved down by someone. None other than Gigi, your kindred correspondent for your run to Vestige. You find yourself sitting with Gigi in a spa, complete with a 25-foot waterfall spilling into an oasis, a living wall of jewel-toned moss, and hyper-revitalization pods. An attendant is presently rubbing a crystal against Gigi's fingernails, stimulating them to grow longer and pointier. Do you opt for a spa treatment, Maeve?
Yeah, I think Maeve, appreciates a good manicure as much as the next person with 4 hands. So yeah, I think she gets in on that. And while she's talking to Gigi, I think she partakes of this as well. She doesn't want the long and pointy nails because that's impractical when you're slug blasting. But maybe something to match. She sort of talks to the manicurist and kind of opens up she's wearing the same arborist robe as always, but kind of opens it up and like reveals what she's wearing underneath and is like something to go with this, maybe like the colors that coordinate a little.
The attendant nods and starts doing one color for your upper arms, and then another color for lower arms. That when when you put it all together, it looks like this like light to dark gradient.
Ooh, cool.
Yeah. And Gigi is like making some small talk with you as you're getting your nails done, and she's like, I rely so much on my rituals when it comes to important events like these. I mean, with the opening ceremonies coming up, I need to feel like a new woman. Nails, hair, makeup, cheekbones, it all needs to change.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. Cheekbones? Never mind. Listen, Gigi, I appreciate the spa day. This is all very gridge, but what exactly did you wave me down for?
Well, I was hoping that I would get a chance to talk with one of the arborists before the opening ceremonies, and you're the first one I happened to catch. They're so elusive, these arborists.
Oh, I'm not here representing. I'd get in a lot of trouble if I was to. I'm here for Goldstar Disaster. This is not I'm not here for the arborists.
Oh, but you are with the arborists, right? Because there are arborists present in this fellowship function.
I mean, I guess I am an arborist, but I'm not. Should I have a lawyer here? I feel. Is it hot in here?
You have nothing to worry about, Maeveline. If you could just pass on a message for me, that would be perfectly fine.
And I don't have to say anything on record or otherwise? That should be fine then. Yeah, what's the message?
Maeve, we're friends here.
Right, friends.
You see, we're really hoping that we can maybe get the arborists over to Kindred. It's high time that they took up residence in more than one tower, don't you think?
I guess so. Yeah, I mean, the arborists are all about, multiversal harmony, and it stands to reason that if they lack when all the dimensions are in harmony, they'd probably want the towers to be in harmony too. So, that makes sense, I think.
Of course it does. It makes perfect sense.
So you just want me to pass that on to the forester, or?
Yes, please. We have a space ready and everything. All they need to do is sign a lease.
Well, Gridge, I'll let the warden, I'll let Tarmant know.
Thank you so much. Oh, this is going to be just such a wonderful way to really represent the towers coming together, I think.
And Maeve just kind of gives Gigi some side eye and is like, yeah, this'll be real Gridge.
I'm feeling really good about the opening ceremonies and about this event overall. I think it's not really going to be as sticky of a situation as it was last time.
Wait, there was a last time this has happened before? Sorry, I'm new to all of this politics stuff. I'm frankly pretty new to your dimension. So, what is happening?
Woldton.
Mm-hmm.
On your tour, you were waved down by someone. A man and a woman, clearly from Lansdowne. The woman has her hair pulled away from her heart-shaped face, bundled into twin buns, and covered with a bejeweled hairnet. She is wearing a green jumpsuit with polished black boots. The sleeves and pant legs of the man's polyester attire tear away. Currently, he has them configured for a long-sleeved shirt and shorts. These are Helgena Plimsby and Jambrin Branson, president and vice president of the Lansdowne Council. Helgena and Jambrin are currently sitting on the edge of one of the many pools, Jambrin dangling his feet in the pink water. This pool is more like a neon river drifting in a wide loop, and at one point in a literal loop-de-loop. around the room. Nobody's opening ceremonies. Who needs them? Who needs an opening ceremony? You're right. Yeah, you're so right, Jamrin. These opening ceremonies just feel... The only ceremony you need is a handshake and a 2% increase in your tax contributions to Lansdowne. Wouldn't you agree?
I can't say I know what taxes I pay.
What? How can you not know what taxes you pay? It's a huge honor to pay taxes to your tower. I know exactly how much taxes I pay. It is 37%. And I am hoping for 40 this next quarter.
Good. I'm sure my folks do pay a percentile amount of their earnings to the tower. I don't have an income per se.
Kindred goes. It's okay,
Sorry.
Jamrin, relax.
Sorry, folks. I didn't mean to interrupt your grumblings. I was told that there would be a Daibokin pool somewhere.
Oh, yeah. There is the Daibokin pool, but that's 2 floors up and 6 rooms down.
Oh, I went. See,
But no. We're happy you're here because actually we wanted to mention something. We wanted to talk to you because you're one of the people, right? From the crew, the Goldstar Calamity or something.
Oh, yeah, Goldstar Disaster, yeah.
Goldstar Disaster,
yeah,
right, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
And
Goldstar Disaster.
Robyn gets it.
Right, and you two folks are from Lansdowne?
Oh, right, yeah. We're from Lansdowne. Helgena Plimsby, and she holds her hand out. Holds out her fist. Call me Helgena. Are you gonna leave me hanging?
Sorry, ma'am.
And she gives you a powerful fist bump.
Oh, wow.
I'm the president of the Lansdowne Council, and this is my vice president, Jamrin Branson. Jamrin.
Sir.
Equally powerful fist bump.
God, it was my other hand.
Yeah, both of your hands are just like kind of achy now.
Oh, wow. The knuckle strength.
But we wanted to talk to you because I don't know if you know much about the guest list, but I mean, of course, we're here as president and vice president of Lansdowne, and you're here as Goldstar Disaster, and also Mr. Wilkie is here.
Wilkie? Candyman.
Yeah, Candyman. So, this feels like a really good chance for, Lansdowne to make sure that things are good, because the way that things have sort of been going down lately, I mean, it was your crewmate who helped bring Wilkies and Lansdowne together, and then it was your crewmate who, had all those illicit criminal dealings.
Sorry, I'm sorry I didn't recognize the two of you as being such important higher ups there before. Should I bow for you or something? I'm not.
No. We already fist bumped.
That's all it takes.
Yeah. What more do you need?
Well, no, I don't need anything.
Should we bow to you? Is that a thing that
No, absolutely.
No skirt.
No, that's okay. It's okay. Pull skirts. You're fine without.
I was turning a skirt anyway.
Oh, okay. Sure thing, Mr. Jimspin.
Jamrin starts reassembling the snaps of his bottoms and turning them into a skirt.
Breezy.
And Helgena says, so what I wanted to ask was, I think that's another one of you. Hello? Are you? And Helix, you are currently on your tour with this guide robot, looking at all of the many features of the Multiversal Odyssey. And then you see a woman waving you down with a man and Wolt.
Yeah, and I think in sort of hearing Helix's name and being waved down, he jumps upon hearing this, like fully freaked out, because he is very much on edge between all of the, the feeling of being watched that you mentioned early on. Like we're off scot-free for the Brindley thing, but yet we feel very much observed. He also just got jumped, him in sequence, by random people who wanted to take his DNA during the last run. So he is very skittish. He's like anyone giving him side eye, anyone coming up to him through his blind spot. And this shout of his name fully spooks him. He jumps like a foot in the air, and is only calmed down by seeing Walt, who very excited to see, because we haven't seen Walt in quite a while. And Take a breath, Helix. Danger lurks around every corner, but you can't let him see you sweat. And then struts over to Walt and these two individuals.
Walt, visibly sweating. Helix! Oh, thank goodness you're here. I didn't know what to say. I didn't know if any of the rest of you would be here.
Yes, that's why I'm here as well. I got the letter. It summoned Goldstar Disaster, so I thought it was a good opportunity to reconnect, not just with Maeve and Trev, but you more mostly. We haven't seen you in a while, pal.
Yeah, it's been a bit, I guess. I like the haircut.
Oh, thank you. And he runs his hand over his bristle. I do level up that Daiboken?
In certain ways, yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah. These are very, very important folks from Lansden. You can fist bump them. They're happy to get a fist bump from you.
Oh, salutations, Helix Pinnacle.
Helgena Plimsby, powerful fist bump. German Benson.
Both of them very powerful, but he can take it.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. He's the perfect Operaeblan, etc. But yes, we had a favor that we were hoping to ask Goldstar Disaster, and the more who can hear it here, the better, right? So Mr. Wilkie, he is here on the Odyssey. He's been invited as a guest, and we want to make sure that things are still good between Lansden and Wilkie's Candy Lab. We're starting to worry that they might be thinking of pulling their business out of Lansden on account of, I guess, the unpleasantness that has been going on lately. Do you think you could put in a good word for us?
We can try, but
sure. None of us directly met with
there.
Him
Yeah, we didn't.
We were engaged otherwise with the factory workers. Actually,
yeah, we were not in his presence. We have yet to meet him.
Oh, but you were in that press conference that, all of you were there, and it seemed like a thing you all kind of did.
We all had a hand in it, but it was our former colleague who had the pleasure of meeting Mr. Wilkie face to face.
Please, we really, really can't afford to lose doing business with Wilkie. It's really brought Lansden up, and it's really hard that she was the one who talked with him, because I think the fact that she's gone means that he might go too, and we really can't afford that kind of blow.
We can try our best, but he shrugs.
That's all you can do.
This guy gets it.
Yeah, Jansen.
Thank you so much. Whatever you can do, really, we really, really appreciate it.
We'll do our best.
All right. Oh, okay. We better get ready for the opening ceremonies. It's gonna be a sham last time. No, it's not gonna be sham.
Sham's here? Sham. Sorry.
No, I don't know anyone named Sham. Sorry, Jambrin was talking about, there was just something that happened, and I guess we're both a little on edge after that, but I'm optimistic. We'll see.
Can you elaborate on what happened last time, please?
Trev 4. On your tour, you were waved down by someone. A large man with slicked back hair, a wispy brown mustache, and a cigar clamped between his teeth. He is wearing a suit, though it is far too understated to be kindred issue. Not enough stripes or ties, so you assume him to be from Web Tower. He introduced himself to you as Jericho Zebulak, the COO of Web Corporation. The two of you are currently in a bar where smoking is allowed, though your air purity sensors are picking up no anomaly. You do, however, notice a smoke-scented perfume is being diffused into the air to add to the vibe. Something about this conversation feels strangely familiar, although even with your ice chip, you have no recollection of meeting this man. You can't help feeling like there's something you're meant to give him, and you feel like it's unfair. He has so much already. What is he even doing to help people with all that he has? You're one of them Goldstar Disasters, aren't ya?
It is indeed true that I'm a part of the Slugblasting crew known as Goldstar Disaster.
You've done a lot of good work for the towers. A lot of good work. We're seeing them all coming together. It's a beautiful thing.
Thank you very much. I appreciate putting in good work and for it to be recognized.
Oh, well, consider your good work recognized. If I had a gold star...
And Trev4 obediently just like sees that like this guy's covered in like probably there's got to be like it's a nice suit to a degree, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it like there's something like Trev4's like little motors in his fingers just kind of like but he eventually puts it on to like recognize the nice compliment, but it's like there's like a weird resistance.
There you go, right back at you. And he peels it immediately off of his suit and just like puts it on what he perceives to be your nose, but now you have this like little weird blip right in the center of your visual receptors.
Thank you. But Trev4 like tries to get it off, but it's hard because he doesn't want to scratch the plating or whatever. So,
it's like so close to his visual receptor is like trying to get something on your own nose. That like, did I get it? I can't actually see that close to my own face.
Yeah.
yeah. So just like that, there's that visual thing right there. He can't quite see around it, but he starts, looking around. He's got 360 vision, so he's trying to like look around as he continues the conversation.
So it's one blip at one angle that you're like, oh, what's going on here? Yeah, the towers, they're all learning from each other, right? We share with each other. And Webb learned that we need guidance from other towers, from other dimensions, to adapt to our own dimension. And boy, the thing that would really help is knowing more about portal zones. You know about portal zones?
Indeed, I do know much about portal zones. I've had to upload information so I could better navigate the multiverse.
Oh, that's great. That's amazing. Maybe with some of your knowledge, sharing some of your stuff, but I hear there's a rig on the Odyssey, an interdimensional VR rig. And I'm sure there's a lot of information that's got to be put into that rig so that you could see into other dimensions, right?
For the purposes of this vehicle, that would make sense, but I am unaware of where it would be.
Maybe you could take a look, see what you can find.
Right. And you want me to give you information?
Yeah, in the spirit of collaboration and sharing and learning.
Indeed. And this collaboration, it will be for the betterment of all the towers?
Oh, yeah, of course. What else, right? What else would it be?
But specifically for the workers in the towers, the ones that generate the power and wealth for the towers?
Right.
Because it seems that whenever there is a promise that there are big profits that come through, they never make it down to the workers.
Really? I thought it was supposed to, trickle.
You would think that things would trickle down, but it doesn't seem to do that. It seems like there is some sort of reversed gravity on the economy where things tend to trickle up. It does not make sense.
Yeah, you're right. It doesn't make sense.
It seems unnatural.
Why would it trickle up? What? It's like a reverse.
It's a mystery that a robot mind cannot figure out, but in the meantime, I think I would be interested in finding this VR rig.
That'd be just fantastic. I'm sure there's a lot to learn from a rig like that.
And Trev4, still hasn't found anything to clear his visor. And if you'll excuse me, I must start looking for this. And he turns and leaves, and he's got this thing in front of him, and he's trying to, get it off, and, his perceptors, he's, trying to avoid things that are not there because this thing's throwing off the depth or whatever, and he winds up bumping into people one after another,
putting a traffic cone on the hood of a Tesla.
Yeah, that's right. It's bouncing.
I got nothing. A waiter approaches you with a squeegee and a little crystal pail, and is polish your visor, sir.
Indeed, that would be much appreciated.
And it's immaculate, crystal clear. The sticker has washed off.
Incredible. And then I give this individual a star.
This is against my uniform regulation.
Hear yourself, squeegee.
Jericho walks up and puts an arm around you, and he says, "Hey, you can find the VR rig in good time. We gotta go. The opening ceremonies are gonna happen any minute now. This is gonna be a big event for all the towers, and, hopefully everyone else will come through and things won't go down like they did last time.
Yes. Last time. I do recall. You do not need to tell me at all.
You recall last time?
And Jay was trying to do a bit, and do I?
Jericho, his demeanor abruptly shifts.
Oh no, my bit got out
in
of
a
hand.
way that's very concerning.
Oh no.
Like, he's been very, like, loose and friendly and casual, and he, like, stops in his tracks and looks dead at you, and he looks so serious.
Does Trev4 actually know what happened? Okay.
Maybe from before your memory wipes.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah, that's fair.
that's all been erased.
Okay. I was just joking. I just did not want to know.
Well, it might be good for you to know. Just to help make sure there's no, repeat instances.
Indeed.
So, Maeve, you hear this story from Gigi. Wolt and Helix, you hear this story mostly from Helgena with some additions by Jambrin. And Trev, you hear this story from Jericho. Well, you see, quite a while ago, Kindred, Lansden, and Webb were all talking about a big partnership. Very exciting stuff. For once, it seemed like everyone was on the same page, and we were all going to do this shared project, the first of its kind in all of Operaeblan, and everyone was going to commit equal funding to this project. Think about it. Biggest moment of tower unity in the history of Operaeblan. Everyone in perfect harmony with each other. But then, it was so unfortunate. At the last moment, Lansden and Webb suddenly and unceremoniously decided to withdraw their funding for the project. Kindred, Webb, dropped it, backed up. Kindred and Webb dropped their commitment and didn't fund the project. And at the last moment, Lansden and Kindred got cold feet and pulled their money. The results? Disastrous. Oh, things got quite tense, I must say. Communication shut down for a little while. The skyways got closed again. Business deals that we had that weren't even related between the towers, they got dropped. Resources started to get scarce, and people started to put more claim on what was theirs. My thing. Yeah, things even started to get a little bit, violent for a little while. It really wasn't pretty. But with you and your crew, things started to take a turn for the better. We started to notice that people from different towers actually could work together again, and it was all because of you. We couldn't ignore you. And it's not like we could have really stopped you either. You were sort of on your own path, and the towers had no choice but to follow you. It was fascinating to watch. Fascinating. And, fast forward, and here we are, talking again on this, fellowship function on this beautiful ship. Things are looking up. And we might just pick up this big project once again. As long as everyone's on board, of course. We cut forward. Goldstar Disaster. You find yourselves in the main gala hall of the Multiversal Odyssey. Half of the room is plush carpet, the other a marble dance floor, on which sits a stage with an imposing wooden podium. The room is an explosion of marble pillars, sparkling chandeliers, circular tables, and people in tower-specific formal attire. At the podium, the same robot who ushered you in now speaks. Welcome, distinguished guests, to the Multiversal Odyssey. It is an honor to have esteemed characters from Lansden Enterprise, Webb Corporation, and Kindred Multiversal gathered in the same room. It is the profound wish of the organizers of this event that this moment will be the catalyst of many more moments of cooperation, fellowship, and peace to come. The room breaks out in polite applause. And now, to deliver opening remarks for the evening, I would like to invite to the stage a group that has represented a microcosm of what Operaeblan could be. Please join me in welcoming the members of Goldstar Disaster.
Wait, Helix, did they brief you on a talk?
No, they didn't brief me on a talk
I wasn't
either.
told about a talk.
I'm not prepared to make a statement.
Oh, that's a bright spotlight. Oh,
Geez, are these platforms under our feet moving us towards the stage?
Oh, right.
Applause throughout the whole room.
Were any of you guys filled in on this?
Maeveline, hi. I didn't even know you were here.
Yeah, I think as we're coming together, it like for a second is like, why is there a random woman being brought up on stage with the rest of Goldstar Disaster? Because for the first time in the entire time you've known Maeve, she does not have her arborist jacket on. She is wearing the fancy clothes that Trev bought for her back on their Daibocon convention run. And I think the bit at that time was like, oh, they're very stylish clothes separately, but they don't go together at all. Yeah. She has somehow found a way to make this work. She's like found accessories to go over the top that tie it in with the pants. She's got the manicure. And after her conversation with Gigi, she had someone see to her hair at the spa as well. So she's got it. I feel like she usually has like tied back in a braid. She's got it up and it's doing all kinds of like, it's like a Mobius strip with several twists in it. It's just like sitting up in an impossible geography on top of her head. And she's got a bunch of like bracelets and necklaces that match similarly like Mobius strip twisty. Looks like a completely different person.
Damn.
I also like that you and I are in black and you two are in like resplendent colors.
Yeah.
And we kind of pair up really neatly. I'll pair up with Trev, of course. Leaving you two to be almost look like a duo.
Incredible. 3 members of Goldstar Disaster are here. And a new person. Hello.
Trev, it's me. You bought me this outfit.
Maeveline, I can't believe it. You look incredible. That is known as flirting.
Is that targeted at a Wold? You like looked directly at me, but nothing about the statement suggests it.
That's true. This is an audio medium. We can all see you looking at Michael.
Yeah. That was a Dave choice, not a Trev choice.
Maeve, for weirdly the second time, has the thought, is Trev hitting on me?
Trev, as you say, that is known as flirting. You hear it reverberate around the room, and you realize that the mic has kicked on, and all of you are sort of standing around this podium, and everyone is looking at you expectantly.
Hello, everyone.
Helix had done the thing where he touches his nose to like dibs out, and then hearing you kind of go first, like, oh, okay, thank God.
So fantastic to see all of you here on the Multiversal Odyssey. It's really an incredible chance for the four of us to be up here to speak to all of you. Of course, we are the members of Goldstar Disaster, and with that, Wolt sort of like flashes his lapel a bit, and he's got one of the old Gold Star stickers from Trev plastered just over where you'd put like a little lapel pin or a boutonniere on his jacket. It's really special for all of us to be here for you at an event that involves all 3 of the towers so distinctly and unanimously.
Voxia, where my lands denied's at?
I think I want to roll to see how this speech goes over. We can make it a team roll because I want each of you to speak at least once.
Wolt started off, so I'm happy to be the one to roll it.
Sure.
And not distinctly because I don't have resources I can lend to other people. You know? It's not because of that. It's not because I get a set bonus as the chill.
I'm going to add a D6 by using Technobabble. So whenever Helix talks, he's going to do the diplomatic equivalent of Technobabble, but I'm adding a D6. So 1 from Helix and 1 from Technobabble.
I can't give you anything from my jacket because I'm not currently wearing it. But I'll give you a D6 from my grit. As evidenced in her opening offer there, I think Maeve's just like trying to keep the levity and the level-headedness, like being very informal and lighthearted, and trying to keep the team together on the same page.
And then, of course, Trev 4 is going to try to invoke some good old teamwork propaganda.
Nice. So that's 66.
Gotcha. Yeah. So it starts off with 2 from Molt's Chill, added 2 from Helix, 1 from Maeve, 1 from Trev for 6d6 total. There's a 1, 2, 3, 5, and 2 6s.
2 6s. That is what we need. Helix, you can mark a style for Technobabble.
Do I mark a style for Steezy? Because there were 2 6s?
Yep.
Yup.
Dang, okay.
And let's hear this speech.
Yeah. Does Maeve get a response for her Where My Lanzanite's at?
Polite applause.
Oh, you guys can do better than that. Come on.
Woo! And then, like, the kind of applause where you really, like, cup your hands and, like, work it from your elbows. You start hearing more of that applause.
Yeah, now, hey, Kindred, y'all think you can do better than that?
And, like, it's kind of like what you would hear at, like, a pop concert.
Yeah, no, that's what I expected. And hey, let's not forget about Web. Where's my webs at?
Synchronized clapping.
Perfect unison.
Oh, spooky. All right. No, respect, though. Respect.
Let's hear all those groups together now.
It is a wild cacophony. Varying tempo and intensity.
Yeah. I think we got a hit single on our hands here. This is great.
And well, it's important to recognize each of our individual towers and the strong history and heritage each one has imbued on individual Operaeblans. Let's not forget that the key word here is that we are all Operaeblans. We are all made of flesh with a skeletal structure and the same spine. We all bleed the same deeply cherry red blood. We all breathe the same air. We all gag and cough when we breathe the toxic smog. We all work the same shifts. We all live on floors of the tower. So let us all, Operaeblans, cheer and clap together as one. And it's that same cacophony, but it's like a little more, like everyone's a little more in sync, everyone's a little more jubilant, and everyone's a little more loud.
Yeah, love that.
Indeed, there is no I in team. Because if you put an I in team, then it would not be spelled correctly. And like that, we must all come together to properly spell team. And when that happens, that is known as teamwork.
Especially loud applause from the robots in the room.
Like, this makes logical sense.
Again, we're so happy that we could be here as, I guess, keynote speakers in a way. We're glad that we could all be here on the stage at the same time to kick things off on this cruise. There's, I'm sure, a lot more fantastic stuff planned. There's no agenda on this podium or anything, but I'm sure there's a lot more fantastic speaking you'll be hearing tonight, and so many wonderful amenities. I heard there's a Daibokin pool. If someone can point that out to me later, I'll meet you there. Everyone, enjoy what you have to offer here on the Odyssey.
The room erupts into jubilant applause. You have thoroughly won over this whole room. Enough that I think I'm going to give a +1 to each tower as a faction.
Nice.
That's going to put Lansden at +2, Kindred at +2, and Webb at a neutral 0.
As we're leaving the stage over the applause, Maeve is yelling back into the microphones. Y'all got our rider, right? I want guacamole in the green room.
The guide robots sort of politely ushers you off to the side and then goes up to the podium and continues to speak. The opening ceremonies are proceeding, but they're in the background now.
So, Golzug in the room, any of y'all heard from Brinley? And Maeve kind of looks around and sees everyone's faces and Trev's display and reads the room appropriately and is like, well, I guess now's as good a time as any. I was hoping that maybe she would have changed her mind, but I went down to the Municipark to, check on the thing that we have down there. The coil. The nega friction coil. She's like trying to be.
We know what you mean, Maeve. Please don't draw attention to us.
Is trying to be covert, but is also like, it's been a lot of episodes since we talked about this. And there was a letter from her. Y'all can all. I've got it with me. Y'all can read it later if you want. But sounds like Bryn's on the run, and she's not looking for us to follow. And I don't know. Everything in me's telling me that I oughta, but I don't want to go against what she'd want, and I don't even understand what happened with all the news reports and stuff. I can't make sense of any of it. What really went down?
Can I see the note?
And Maeve gets it out of, she's got like a little clutch or something, and gets it out and hands it to Walt.
I had written up a letter, and I didn't know how best to send once I started seeing stuff across billboards in Kindred. I didn't expect to hear more about her, but oh wow.
You all read the note left to you by Brinley Zirk, telling you that she has to go, not to follow her, and to take care of each other. And it also tells you, don't trust Shimmer, don't trust the Arborists.
Both of those last two missives are extremely alarming. I thought we had rapport with Shimmer, and if you can't trust the Arborists, if she can't trust the Arborists, I don't know who we can trust.
Yeah, what do y'all think she meant by that? I mean, she doesn't mean my temple, does she? That's, Sharla and Tarman's a bit plogy, but he's not some kind of criminal or nothing.
It's a multidimensional organization. Maybe she means something more direct. Maybe it is like Thenispar, or like it could be any of their branches or roots, or however they define those things.
She must have found something pretty significant if it was enough for her to go completely on the lam.
It would make sense that Shimmer would be the group that maybe attacked my bot shop.
Wait, someone attacked your bot shop?
Yes. They told Glenzo to make sure to never allow me to get an update. That would not be something that the Kindred Corporation would demand. That would have to be somebody else. And it would match the criminal activities that Shimmer does participate in.
I was wondering why Repurposed Robotics was closed when I walked by. I went to see if I could find you, but everything was taped up across the doors.
That has to be more than just a coincidence, because I was also attacked while carrying out variable business with my associate Sequence. Someone jumped us and took biological matter from my friend.
Like her hair or
something slightly more intrusive.
Oh, God.
And then he mimes he just mimes a needle.
Well, I wasn't going to bring it up right away, but as long as we're talking about weird stuff that's been going down, there was a drone following us in Calorium the other cycle. I tried to grab it and analyze, but it self-destructed before I could get a really good look. It looked Operaeblan, though, from what I could tell. I mean, I don't think they make drones in Calorium.
What the fucks have you guys been up to? I've just been hanging out with Bradley at an arcade.
I think in this moment, Maeve actually takes in that they're, all back together here, or at least almost all back together for the first time, and sort of looks to Walt and's like, "Oh, hey, Walt, good to see you, by the way. How you been, man?" And she just opens her arms up wide for a hug.
Walt, as Maeve had opened her arms up to hug, he also kind of had the initial response, but then he remembered having stumbled in on her and Mondo hugging in Trinity Municipark, and is just suddenly quite embarrassed, and despite his pale complexion, he's flushing up quite a lot, and he just kind of standing, arms plastered to his side, stock still, is I've been all right.
And when he doesn't go in for the hug, I think she just takes one set of outstretched hands and just claps him on the back jovially, maybe a little too hard, and then just turns back to the rest of the group.
Sounds like you're overdue to be attacked. Sorry, I'm being rather paranoid, but I'm feeling rather paranoid.
Well, speaking of the paranoia, why are we all here? Why do we have to give a speech?
The organizational structure is not doing its job. We should have been informed of what tasks we were supposed to do.
True, Trev. I received an invitation, but no direct request to give a speech.
Yeah, I was brought here under the assumption that I was just representing the sort of inter-tower spirit cultivated by Goldstar Disaster.
Yeah, y'all get the feeling that we've all been invited to this thing, and there's people from every tower, and they're all here on invitation. And doesn't that just kind of beg the question on whose invitation? Who's behind this whole thing?
I think that's a fair question, Maeveline, and perhaps should be our first priority in figuring out.
Well, I may have a lead on where we can go. There is a VR room that I can go and investigate. It was put upon me by Jericho Zabulak to go and look into it, that it could help us with interdimensional research.
Oh, that's right. We were also told that Wilkie was going to be here, and some of the higher-ups at Lansdowne were hoping that we, as Goldstar Disaster, could talk to him.
Yeah, I mean, he's a high roller, a person of interest, a beloved figure in this plane. Perhaps he might know who the invites are from.
Did anyone actually get a look at him when we went to his factory? I know Bryn did, but
Brinley described him in a way that does not make sense in my mind. So
Yeah.
I guess maybe look for the guy who is shaped in ways that are impossible and strange.
I think that had to be her messing with us. I'm sure he's just like a guy.
Yeah, she probably didn't want to let on that he was really a big dog.
So, you're here in the gala hall. The opening ceremonies are proceeding behind you. Each of you have been given some tasks, and you all seem to have questions about your place here at the fellowship function. So, my question for you is, where do you go first?
Guess if we have 2 tasks on the ship, break into pairs?
Makes sense to me.
I would like to help Trev find the VR unit, because if Jericho Zebulax has given you the missive, then I very much want to be part of that. He's a pretty big deal. Web operates in a hierarchy, and getting this kind of FaceTime, this kind of the opportunity to be witnessed by Jericho Zebulax could really mean a lot for my position in Web and the Pinnacle project.
Sorry, who is this guy, and why does he have such a weird and kind of dumb sounding name?
Jericho Zebulax is the chief operating officer of Web Tower, and about as high up the hierarchy as you can go, short of the CEO, who, well, we don't even talk about the CEO.
Who names a kid Jericho Zebulax? That's, oh my God.
Well, Maeve, you're from Lansdowne. If you wouldn't mind helping me out with any info you have on Branston and Helvetica, I'd really love it.
Yeah, I'm sure I can help with whatever you just said. I think Maeve would know those people, but not from what you... Yeah, right.
Well, this sounds like a wonderful pairing. I will go with Helix. The 2 of you will go together, and you can accomplish your task. And perhaps you should talk about your feelings, because I am noticing that once again, there is a connection that I have not sensed since I have last been with all of you. Anyways.
Come on, Walt. Let's go.
Hello there, Goldstar listeners. It's me, Laena, your Slugblaster Game Blaster. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Quantum Kickflip. If you're enjoying Quantum Kickflip, why not leave a 5-star review on your podcatcher of choice? Tell some friends. It would mean so much to us. Thank you so much to everyone who backed the Slugblaster Game of the Year Edition campaign. If you missed the campaign, you can head to slugblaster.com right now and place a pre-order for a hardcover rulebook, a deluxe pizza box with all sorts of goodies, and more. You can support us by following us at Quantum Kickflip on social media, where we post new episode updates, audiograms, and more. You can also support us by subscribing to Quantum Kickflip on Patreon. For just $2 a month, you can join our Shredder tier and get access to all new episodes of Quantum Kickflip 2 days early, and for just $5 a month, you can join our Ultranaut tier, which gets you early access plus exclusive bi-weekly bonus content, such as interviews with the players, outtakes, behind-the-scenes featurettes, personal stories from the players, and more. To unlock all of these amazing perks, head to patreon.com/quantumkickflip and subscribe today. I'd like to thank our sponsors at the Alberta Media Arts Alliance Society, whose goal is to advocate, educate, and celebrate the media arts in Alberta. You can learn more at amaas.ca. We release Quantum Kickflip bi-weekly, so you can catch the next chapter of the Multiversal Odyssey run on Wednesday, November 22nd. Let's get you back to the action. Now that all passengers have boarded and the opening ceremonies have commenced, the Multiversal Odyssey rises up from its place between the 3 towers and begins to circle around the outside. It has to stay pretty close to the towers in order for it to stay hovering, The towers act as sort of an anchor for this huge, huge hovercraft. But anyone inside the Odyssey doesn't really notice. Anyone who tries to look out the windows doesn't really get a view of Operaeblan. After all, people who board this ship don't tend to want to take in the sights of toxic smog, a red scar of a horizon, and 3 towers that they see every shift. So, if you look through one of the windows, you might get a projection of perhaps trees, or a long stretching horizon of an ocean, or maybe a cityscape, but not the usual triangle towers. We zoom in to the Multiversal Odyssey and join up with Helix and Trev 4. I think you two right now are making your way towards the observation tower where the VR room is located. You were basically given the instruction to go up, and I think to get to the observation tower, you're sort of making your way through like a recreation area, but it's not super open concept here. It's a little bit like walking through office hallways, but instead of walls, there's like screens on either side, so you can kind of get a sneak peek of what's going on in each of the rooms. And in one, you see there's a group of people, and they're like scratching their heads and walking around what looks like a very exaggerated Waking Pits dungeon. And one of them picks up a scrap of fabric and is like, "It's a clue, it's a clue." On another one, you see people in like glowing vests with glowing looking ray guns making their way through a foggy maze. In one, you hear the classic that's bowling. That's obviously bowling sound effects. I don't know why I needed to explain myself. We would call it cosmic bowling, but Operaeblans would just call it regular bowling. And you're making your way through, and I'm just going to give you a quick beat to catch up with each other.
I read in a Null magazine they have this like thing called desaturated bowling, where it's just plain like grays and oranges and browns.
Fascinating. I really do hope that we get to go to Null more.
Agreed.
It is, of course, the place where Three's Companies was filmed. And I've always wondered why it was such a strange thing for a man to live with 2 other female roommates and why it would be such a problem.
Yeah, I just chalk it up to interdimensional weirdness. You know, now I know how Maeveline feels every time I bring up the 4th color.
Helix, you start feeling this like slow creeping shame from the long time before Goldstar Disaster that you insisted that you, Maven Brindley, be called Team Tetrachromacy, and you're like, why were they protesting the whole time? And now you're like, oh, I get it. You're making your way through, and you're about to sort of leave this area, and Trev 4, I think you get distracted for a moment by another screen, and you look over to this screen and you see a track where kids are like racing on hover carts. I'm picturing a track that looks like a Mobius strip. Like from the outside, you cannot, how does it connect together? But you know, they're just like racing on these hover carts and like clearly having a great time. And you're watching this and you can't help but think about the one memory that you have that's a clear memory from before you got your ice chip and before you started your exploits with Goldstar Disaster. And you think back to the skate park in Kindred, where you were teaching Faye, Stanch's kid, how to hoverboard. And you have this memory of like attaching these hover stabilizers to Faye's hoverboard that you would have probably gotten secondhand from the bot shop.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, there are these kids all around Faye that are skateboarding, and they've got, you know, clearly updated decks, shiny helmets that you can like maybe program different images to. Who puts a sticker on a helmet? That's like semi-permanent, and that is not what Kindred is about. So you are watching these kids racing, and it like just feels very familiar to when you were teaching Faye how to hoverboard.
So, like, these memories have been coming more frequently, yeah?
Yeah, you were sort of feeling this when you were talking with Jericho, and it feels like there is something similar to how when Stanch unlocked this memory of Faye for you, it feels like there's more under the surface, but you don't know the name for the memory, so you can't access it.
Helix, have you ever felt something from the past that you cannot remember? Like there's something important that you've missed?
Whew, surprisingly, yes. Recently, I have had a lot of changes in my participation in the Pinnacle project. I'm a variable now. I thought I was a control. Turns out I was a variable, but not the right kind of variable, a variation of a variable. And I just sort of feel this. I just feel like there's another piece of me out there somewhere that like I need to connect with. Is that what you're saying, or are you talking more like a memory?
It is confusing. I'm used to having my drives partitioned, but it seems like the partitions are starting to not work as they should. And I am remembering things from past wipes. And I'm not sure why it is happening, why my programming is such, but it is troubling to me.
Well, I mean, your machine learning system, perhaps the branches that spawn from each partition, eventually grow in ways that are predictable and repeatable. And there's maybe crossovers now, or I mean, I'm no data scientist, but even artificial nature repeats itself. Fractal patterns, repeatable constants that appear with some regularity, so perhaps your partitions are getting their wires crossed. I don't know how else to put it. I'm a biologist, not a data scientist, and barely a biologist, mostly a Slugblaster. I've also taken head trauma in my some 20 years here, so don't.
Perhaps your own partitions in your own drives have been broken down.
Whew. And then just Helix thinks about how he's pretty sure there's a twin of him in a tube somewhere, and he's like, yeah, you just think about the trees that grow from separation, like cell split. That laser tag looked fun, huh?
And Trev is picking up on like, oh, there seems to be something like happening, that it's shifting in the attitude. Oh, he doesn't want to talk about it. It is fine. We do not have to speak about something that deeply troubles you. I have not noticed.
Thanks, Trev. Sorry I don't have more insights on your programming, but like I said, I know biology and real natural things, not so much about artificial intelligence.
Perhaps my drives were always designed to break down and for me to always remember.
The whirring of the hover carts continues to cycle in the background, and the two of you continue to make your way forward. And you find yourselves in a lobby. It's sort of a big circular sort of chamber. It's very elegant in here. I'm talking schmancy wallpaper and sconces and...
One more.
I already talked about the lighting. Drapes?
Oh, there it is. The big three.
There are drapes. Windows? But there are drapes. This area is like a lounge/bar situation, but it is also like a lobby to other spaces. There's sort of a casino on one far end. There is a theater on the other end. There is a very fancy restaurant that is close to you. And you can hear, like, the Orb Quartet that is playing in the restaurant. And in the center of this room is a big cylindrical sort of pillar with a spiral staircase winding around it. At the foot of the stairs and at the entrance to the casino are each a pair of very friendly-looking robots with holographic projection faces, like heads. Not like you, Trev, where you have, like, the head and then the glass, but, like, actual projections. And then you notice, in the center of the room, a sign. And the sign is in, like, lovely cursive. And it reads, "Please note, you must be 18.5 years of age or older to access the casino. Formal dress is required for the Golden Spoon. Robots are not permitted in the observation tower." Wolt and Maeveline. You are making your way to one of the water parks where you have been told Mr. Wilkie is hosting a photo op. It's the one with the wave pool, not the one with the surf emulator. That's how you know. And don't even think about going to the one that's actually an infinity pool. You want the one with the wave pool. Your instructions have been very clear, and so you are making your way to this water park. I think the area that you're going through is a much more open concept recreation area. Like, you can directly see all of the things around you. There's a big rock climbing wall that just like fully extends like 40 feet above your head. There's mini golf, and you see someone like clack the ball, and then it like zoops through a tiny little portal, and then like zoops out and is like close to the hole, and they're like, yay! There's a full-on Wipeout-style obstacle course of like platforms and rope bridges and things that move to knock you off the platforms. You're making your way through sort of on like a catwalk that bridges all of this and sort of cuts through everything, making your way to the water park. And I want to give you guys a beat to catch up.
Right, so the concierge was saying that it was supposed to be in Swim Hub Gamma, where Wilkie was doing that meet and greet.
I saw Swim Hub Delta, but what comes after? Hang on.
I don't actually know what this alphabet's based off of.
Yeah, now that I think about it.
It must have brought it in from Null or something.
Yeah, this reeks of kindred design sensibilities. They're pulling from all over the place.
Hey, sounds catchy though.
Yeah, fair. So how have you been? Man, I haven't seen you in... I don't want to think about it. It's been too long, but how was things with the Wicks?
Wolt sort of hesitates for a moment upon hearing Maeve mention, I haven't seen you for so long, because he thinks back to the last time he saw Maeve, in which she was standing in Trinity Municipal Park in the embrace of another Thenispartian, at a time when they were supposed to be meeting to try and reconnect, and Wolt's just like, not sure how to feel about things, but he shakes himself out of it and goes, well, it was nice to spend some time with my cousins, but I don't know, I just don't see them being the right crew fit for me.
Oh, seriously? That's too bad. I thought you thought things were blessed there, but sorry to hear that, man.
It's all right. I mean, we had a fun time. They hosted like a party thing actually over in Lansdowne at Septenary Spire.
Oh, you guys did the drop?
Yeah.
Oh, how long? How long did you do? Don't lie.
Me? Well,
wait, let me guess. I'm gonna give you first time 3.5.
I kind of went the whole time.
The whole time, like 9?
Well, it was like the whole free fall 9 seconds, but then I had Carcinican create like an inertial momentum vortex at the bottom, and then we blasted back up with a bubble rocket. So
Scrod, nobody does 9 on the first. You're lying to me.
No, people got footage and stuff. It was like a big party.
Maeve is sort of like, well, all right, and kind of gives you a double-fisted arm punch, maybe a little harder than is polite. I was like, that's Gridge, man. I never heard of anybody going 9 on their first run at the drop. That's congrats. You sure they're not the right crew for you? That sounds pretty Gridge.
Well, I don't know that they really helped me with the drop aspect. It was mostly with Carcinican.
Yes, I was essential.
Yeah, you are, buddy. And she kind of like tussles his hair, but he's a little crab guy.
I was also thinking he is in the Divo Vice right now.
Just like finger guns.
Yeah, she finger guns the Divo Vice.
Double finger guns. Of course.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I actually want to check in with you, Maeve, because, this has been a while since you and Wolt had a chance to get some FaceTime in, and you were supposed to meet at Trinity Municipal Park. You went there specifically to meet Wolt, but then you were waylaid by Mondo being there, and then by the time Mondo left, it was clear that Wolt wasn't coming. I just want to get a vibe check. How is Maeve feeling in this moment?
I think the main thing that any observer would take away about how Maeve is feeling about that aspect in this moment is that she is not letting any of that emotion show in any way whatsoever. She is keeping a tight, heavy lid on her feelings about that. This entire time, it's been a lot of playful arm punches and shoves and a lot of light teasing. I think the way she's treating Wolt is not the way she usually acts around him, which is, flustered, more or less, and more the way she would act around Brinley. putting up a bit of a wall of good-natured aggression and humor.
That makes sense, because in that same scene, too, I remember that was the beat where you quit your grit arc, and your grit arc was winning Wold's heart. So
I will say that
really
if Trev was here and had all his fancy readings, she definitely has feelings about how that all went down, but she is not sharing them at this moment
He's
with the GM or anyone.
He's busy calling out my, pushing my feelings down and not talking about it. Discomfort. He's
Trev's like, you
don't
have
worry.
feelings, and you have feelings, and you have feelings, and the vibe is off.
Amidst all this reconnecting, Wolt's very happy to have the chance to see Maeve again, because he had actually invited her down to Trinity Municipal Park. But something in this time together today, he's like feeling maybe the least chill he's ever felt. I'm just kind of like on edge and like almost a little aflutter, and he's not sure why, and he's just kind of stumbling over himself through all this.
Is it the nails? It's the nails.
Oh my god, the nails.
The
Sure,
nails.
yeah. Maeve is like all done up, and like not that is changing anything, but it's just like she's standing out in a way that she normally doesn't.
Yeah.
And that on top of everything else, Wolt is like, adjust my segmented tie.
One segment's out of place, and you have to keep like tapping it back in. Yeah.
Maeve maybe catches him just like staring into space for a second at the nails, and she's like, "Oh yeah, they're good, right? I got them done here. Apparently, there's a whole spa thing."
Oh.
I met up with Gigi actually, and got him done at the start of the thing. It's not usually something I go in for, but we're here. I figure, why the fuck's not, right?
Yeah, get that double mani-pedi. Yeah. But wait, Gigi's here?
Oh yeah, she wanted to talk to me about some arborist scrod. I don't know. It doesn't matter right now.
Who from the towers isn't on this ship?
But hey, don't think I've gone and gotten all fancy or nothing. I can still hold my own if you want to see who can get to Swim Hub Gamma first. And she kind of like reaches for her board and gives him a look. Want to make it interesting?
Interesting how?
Like a race.
I don't know. You said interesting. That generally implies stakes beyond.
Oh
just
yeah,
like a race. I was like, are we betting things now, or like is it like a dare? Are there
like bragging rights, man? Come on.
Yes, bragging. Yes, the right to brag. You go first. I mean, no, it's a race. I'll beat you. Swim up Gamma, here I come. And Wolt does take his Daibo Vice and flip it into board form, and he hops on and starts hovering over.
All right, I think it's a classic higher roll wins in this scenario.
Yeah, let's one die versus one die. Let's do it.
You don't want to spend resources on this very low stakes race?
I do, but I kind of think it's more fun if it's just 1v1.
Here we go.
I mean, Wolt's the chill.
Well, it's not very chill today.
No, Wolt rolled a 1.
Maeve rolled a respectable 4.
All right. I mean, the chill rolls with 2. Should you be rolling with 2?
Do it.
Another 1. So, with Steezy.
Are you kidding me? That's so funny.
He fails in a really cute way.
I do want you to describe how you fail in a way that is like, remember episode 1 in Prismatia where Maeve saw you for the first time and there were the bubbles floating by and you were like posed really cool because you just pulled off a move with Scampy Kid, and Maeve was like, damn, I want that moment here in the Multiversal Odyssey.
Wolt like steps on his board and it just goes out from under him. Trying to think what's around that he could like fall into that like. There's like a cart of like someone who's like selling flowers that have been like little arrangements that have been done up for the occasion on the Odyssey cruise, and he just falls. And then there's just like a sprinkling of petals and everything in the air, and it's like in slow motion he's falling, and there's nothing but roses all around, and then he lands flat on his ass.
Somehow a rose falls into your mouth and you have the stem in between your teeth.
Maeve looks back and like sees this, it's playing out in slow motion, soft focus, the petals raining down, and it's like, close up of her face, close up of Walt in this moment. And then the camera just like snaps back to real time, and she's like, sucker, and takes off on her board. Just weaving through the hallway, ducking and dodging around passersby, and handily wins this race to Swim Hub Gamma.
Perfect. I'll give you a style. I'll give you a style for winning. There were stakes after all.
Did you get a style for Steezy?
Oh, right.
both
Okay. You both get a style.
Everybody wins.
It's a millennial podcast and her participation.
So the two of you managed to make your way, one quite a bit faster than the other, to Swim Hub Gamma. Wolt, you probably still have some, like, rose petals just, like, attached to you throughout all of this. Like, throughout the rest of this, you're just going to occasionally be like, what the? There's another one? How did this happen? But you enter into Swim Hub Gamma, and you find an enormous space. About, like, maybe a quarter of it is the wave pool, and that does not mean that the wave pool is small. These waves roll up and lap up onto what looks like a just straight up beach, complete with sand and, you know, the classic Kindred holographic trees, but these look like trees, and they're like palm trees. There's loungers with little tables. There's a bar off to one side that's probably got like full like tiki vibes and like straw roof and like coconut drinks and stuff like that. On the other
There's a robot whose body is a ukulele and he just plays his body.
Yes. Yes, that is, you're right. Stop reading my notes. And then on the other side is just the most tangled, incomprehensible jumble of water slides, all of different colors, sizes, levels of steepness. Some of them go down at like a really unsettling steep grade. Some of them have like sort of waves in their design. Some of them just look like they loop around and around and around and around and will eventually spit you out at the bottom. One's just shaped kind of like a funnel. You just spin around it and then you just like spit out the bottom of it. One looks like it just cuts off like fully 15 feet above a deep pool of water where you would just like fall into it.
Such a bad idea.
I think there's more slide and then it's just like bloop.
It's called the Kid Obliterator.
Yes, it is. You are correct. Sort of away from all of this, sort of on the other side of the wave pool opposite the bar, there's sort of this like backdrop that has been set up, and you see this line of people all preparing to take a photo op with Mr. Wilkie. And this is your first time seeing Mr. Wilkie. He does not match the descriptions that you have heard from Brinley. Like, he kinda does. He is wearing a bright fuchsia suit with a green, like a chartreuse bow tie, but he is an Operaeblan man. He's got short bleached yellow hair that's been like spiked up, and as people come up, you can't really hear, you've sort of just entered this space, but you can sort of see him being really animated and like posing with finger guns or like putting his arms around people and like chatting really energetically. He sticks his tongue out a lot when he like the open mouth tongue out, like kind of look, which might be dog-like, but also still, it doesn't quite feel like how Brinley has described Wilkie to you.
That's not a weird
dog.
blob guy.
All right, Helix and Trev, you are in the bar/lobby leading to this observation tower. At the base of the stairs are two robot security guards, you can only assume, and you have just read the cautionary sign that has told you robots are not permitted in the observation tower. What do you do?
Yeah, it's not entirely obvious why that is, and so I think Helix is just going to go and ask these robots that are guarding the staircase. We just had this great moment where Helix was reflecting on the nature of the natural order of things in machine learning and the similarities, the differences, Trev's inherent humanity, but these are also just two robots, and so he's gonna go and treat them like he does all robots, and he's gonna put his hand right on their face because he's expecting it to read his biometrics like in web.
Once again, they don't have a head or face. Like, they've got this like big cylindric shiny white body, and it looks like kind of humanoid with like legs and arms and stuff, but not a head. It is a projection that's like holographic of just like a friendly humanoid face.
He like pushes his open palm through their holographic
I was gonna go. I'm gonna put it like where the chest would be.
Oh yeah.
Like just right on its chest. Like
you put it right over the A of the acronym emblazoned across the front, which is PAL.
Okay. Activate. It's voice automated. Why aren't robots allowed on the observation tower?
Hello.
Why aren't robots allowed on the observation tower? Input. Query.
I'm sorry, but robots are not permitted in the observation tower.
Query. Why?
May I guide you to the casino? Or perhaps the theater. Robots will sometimes take in theater.
All caps, stop, reply. Okay. Unsubscribe from Cat Facts. I don't
take me off your list.
I want to understand why robots aren't allowed up there. I just curious what the reasoning is. Pal, hey, my friend wants to come up and see the observation tag. Is there a reason that he's not allowed?
The observation tower is not compatible with robot hardware.
Thank you.
You are welcome. Is there anything else I can help you with today?
Just turns around and walks away. Well, Trev, it doesn't look like you're allowed up there. It's not compatible with your hardware. I guess because it's like a VR thing, your sensors aren't really tuned to perceive the virtual reality presented to, natural eyes. Maybe it's like...
That is a possibility. However, these robots could be programmed to tell a lie.
Oh, maybe one of them tells the truth and one of them tells a lie. No, that seems counterproductive. That's an escape room thing. I don't think we're in an escape room. Well, I mean, do you want to just come up with me and maybe keep a lookout, or just? I mean, I don't want to go up there alone. That's no fun.
Well, it will be important for me to collect the data that is there. So I have an idea.
Yeah, it's fine. I want to hear your idea because, like, what's the big deal? There's safety stuff all over this ship. It's just to avoid lawsuits. It can't be a big deal.
It is true that they know me to be a robot now. However, I am also very adept at pretending to be a human. So this is what I propose. I will just go around the corner and their RAM will clear and I'll come back around and I'll be very human-like.
Huh. This I gotta see.
And so Trev just goes around the corner, waits like a second, and comes back around. And instead of his like normal like C-3PO kind of like walk or whatever, it is just slightly exaggerated where there's like a bounce in his step, just like each one, this like weird jaunty kind of walk.
You're moving each point of articulation a little too much.
Yeah. And it's kind of an awkward little walk as he bounces towards them. And
the face, instead of the 8-bit like pixelated face, it's like beautiful, crisp, like 32-bit graphics.
Yeah, I've rerouted like some of my power into the
Can you just go all the way to 4K? And I'm just like, I didn't know we could do that. Why aren't we watching movies on Trev?
So I put on like a new face, and the face is like essentially... like Wolfenstein, where you see the guy's face at the bottom. Yeah. It's that. That's updated to be kind of this 16-bit kind of look. And I go, Hello, I am not a robot. I would like to proceed upwards to the observation tower, please.
Now, David.
Yes.
As a GM, I love it when people bring me creative offers.
Mm-hmm.
And I love seeing how people are going to take an action to try to succeed.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I need to just make sure that you and I as players are on the same page. This is not going to work.
Laena, hold on. Trev's not done yet.
Oh, okay.
This is my proof that I am a human. I like coffee. I like to watch movies. And I like to vux hard and vux often. Anytime I'm not at my job, I am vuxing and eating. The two things
Simultaneously?
It is efficient. I mean, it is just pleasurable. So, I think Laena, I'm definitely, like, I don't know if I even need to make a roll. If I had the middle finger ability, oh boy, howdy.
Are you rolling for it then?
Middle finger you can add up to 2 kick to middle finger. I feel like I need at least 3. I need almost all of your kick to justify this work.
Well, can I help then? I think he sees the thing and he's like, damn, I think maybe he's gonna pull it off. I'd like
This horse are gonna be so mad.
I'll add you a kick for my attitude by just walking up to you and being like, sweetie, have we got into the observation deck yet? I really want to see the observation tower. And like puts his arm like under your arm, like we're hand in hand.
And Trev is like, oh, deception detected. Yes, I also would like to go up to the tower with you as a part of a date.
So you've got an extra kick for me for my attitude.
Oh my god.
Sweetie, I want to go to the observation tower and then go home and vux hard and often.
So I'm going to add a kick. So I got one from... I have one from Helix. I'm going to put in one for my attitude. I'm adding a kick from my visor because of this believable human face.
Yeah.
And
it's the kind of thing where, like,
Jesus
it's
Christ.
obvious to us that it's a pixelated face, but it's like, you know what robots scan for, and it's like, oh yeah, no, all of the dimensions are correct.
This has
or
enough
whatever.
fidelity.
Yeah.
and I'm going to add a D6 for my attitude as well. So I have 2 D6. All right.
Okay, let's see. Can't believe this is happening.
You taunted me on this, and now I'm like, I'll meet you. I'll gamble. I got a 6.
No, you did not.
Yeah, it is.
Fuck off. Holy shit. Okay.
I get that D6 back too because I did so good. Just fucking nailed it.
I guess I got a bunch of kick from you, so that's all I can do. Jesus. Okay, so listeners of Season 1 might recognize PAL robots. They are a creation of Myper, which Myper, of course, being based in Null. Our Season 1 took place around the year 2000, so for these PAL robots, these graphics, holy moly. It is very realistic. And also, what robot would be this crass?
One that has watched Three's Company.
Yes. So their holographic faces like glitch several times, flickering from like their sort of plastered on friendly face to like look of concern. At one point you think you see a 404 and then it snaps back to a regular face. And the one says, yes, understood. I can see that you are a human. You may proceed into the observation tower. Please do not procreate while in the observation tower.
That is fine. It will give me a chance to recharge. And I start walking up.
The camera lingers on the 2 robots, and one of them's like, Wait a minute. Hang on.
Yeah, Helix has just the biggest grin on his face. He can't believe that this worked. And we kind of scamper up the stairs like people who just got away with something, right? Like that just like
yeah.
mischief.
Pumping.
Mischief giggles as we run up the stairs.
Here.
You make your way to the top of the stairs, and you see these double sliding doors. And in the center of these doors, kind of split by them, is a screen. And as you get to the top, the screen flashes, and it says, "Welcome." And then, Trev 4, you see a box. And next to the box is the phrase, "I am not a robot."
Helix puts his hand out, to stop Trev, like against his chest, like a mom trying to pin kids to the front seat. It's a podcast. I'm just trying to describe my hand going straight out.
Stay back, sweetie. It's not safe.
Yeah, Trev. We might have got past those stupid power robots, but this is ironclad.
I cannot figure this out.
I think you better let me take this one. There's no duping these things. These things are perfect.
I'm very much aware.
And I check the box. I am not a robot.
You check the box, and it disappears. And then a keyboard sort of lights up along the bottom, and across the middle, you see a series of letters and numbers, about 6 digits long. Some of the letters are uppercase, some are lowercase.
Are they all twisty?
They're kind of a little bit twisty. It's a lot.
These things. Okay, so V, puts V on the keyboard. 5, Alpha. Who designed this alphabet? Q. Is that a 7 or an I? There's a line going through it. Sometimes lines go through 7s. They don't go through I's, but it's not the... Oh, jeez. Oh, shit. I don't want to get this wrong. I mean, sometimes you get it wrong. I can't believe I'm going to ask this, but Trev, is this an I or a 7?
Trev is just boggled at it, but then he engages with his... He engages his realmware lens and, sees energy fields, invisible entities, and in-depth biometrics. So he's really adding the layer that he can understand language that's a little messed. He's able to discern that it is indeed a 7.
With all the intensity of snipping the red wire, the blue wire. It's all right, I can't believe I've left this up to a machine, but 7. Enter.
The text disappears. The screen goes dark. And the double doors slide open with a slight pneumatic hiss. You have successfully made your way into the observation tower, beating my ironclad defenses.
Wow, Trev, that was incredible. Hey, maybe you got a little more Operaeblan humanity in you than you thought. And gives you a little pat on the back and hustles in.
Yes, it seems like the two of us together make a fully human Operaeblan.
Helix sort of thinks about it. Yeah, I guess we're both kind of programmed. Cool, VR.
And the two of you make your way into the observation tower to start collecting Thin Zone information for Jericho Zebulak. Maeve and Wolt. You have made your way through the line, making your way up to Mr. Wilkie. You're almost there, almost ready to take pictures. You've seen him chat it up and do his thing. At one point he reaches into his sleeves and pulls out some candy and drops it in the other person's hands, and they walk away wow, I got some candy from Mr. Wilkie. That's so cool. Yeah, you're almost there.
As we're in line, Maeve's No, I swear she said he was like a purple goop monster that was all bendy. Where are you getting dog from? I don't remember her saying anything about him being a dog.
There was a whole thing where Trev was scanning for a dog or something, and I don't know, Brindley and I had a whole conversation where we kept calling him a dog.
Well, I mean, Trev's sensors are usually pretty on point. But then who's this guy?
I don't know.
They must have just been messing with us, right?
Because this just looks like a normal guy.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it was Brindley and Trev vuxing with us. I'm sure of it.
Okay. Normal guy that lives in a candy egg.
I mean, he works there. It doesn't mean he lives there.
Next.
Oh, I guess that's us.
Oh, yeah. Well, here goes nothing. And Maeve sort of like fixes her weird Mobius strip updo and just kind of like tries to... I don't think she knows how to present herself as a classy, fashionable person. So she goes to adjust her outfit and is like, I don't know what I'm doing. Whatever.
The two of you approach Mr. Wilkie. And as you do, he turns to look at you and he says, "Oh, hey, welcome. Come on in. Let's get some... Hey, I think I know you guys. You're from Goldstar Calamity, right?"
Disaster, but yeah.
You sound different than I remember.
What you talking about, buddy?
Oh, well, we heard your voice on the intercom when we've broke into...
We haven't met you, but we've heard you.
I don't know what you're talking about. This is what I sound like. Mr. Wilkie's me.
I thought you sounded more like I would like to make you my niblets and you will work here forever in my candy egg.
Shit, that's good. No. I mean, that, I do talk on the intercom, but it's, you caught me when I was, sleepy.
See, he does sleep there.
Anyway, what can I do you for?
It's great to officially meet you.
Yeah, photo.
Sure thing, yeah. Babe kind of poses awkwardly.
Carcinocan, get up on my shoulder.
Okay. Finger guns.
I don't have fingers.
Listen, Mr. Wilkie, you haven't met us before, but I believe you met our teammate, or our former, Brindley. Brindley Zirk?
Right, yeah, Brindley, yeah. First of all, sorry about the whole thing. Like, that's gotta be real hard and stuff, and, tough hang, right? Tough stuff.
You could say that.
I could and I have.
But beyond that, we were wondering if we might be able to speak with you. We were approached by some representatives from Lansden, I believe it was President, Vice President Brimples and Headley or something.
Maeve remembers their names, but is just staring at Walt, smirking like, yeah, Walt, what were their names?
Brampton and... No, Ferp Brimble.
The point is, we're just want to make sure that unpleasantness that you mentioned with our crewmate, we just want to make sure that hasn't soured anything between Wilkie's and Lansden. This whole agreement has been real good for the tower and for the harmony between all the towers, and we just want to make sure that that's not in jeopardy now that everything with Brindley happened the way it did. Right.
Yeah. It was honestly a bit of a drag to hear about the whole thing that happened with Brindley, because I really like Brindley. I really liked Brindley, and she was sort of really helped with the whole thing, and with what happened with Brindley, it kind of makes me wonder a little bit, about like Lansden, like. Kind of to a degree, you guys, no offense, but
Well, no, but listen, we had nothing to do with any of that, and Lansden and Goldstar Disaster are still very committed to this partnership with Wilkie's. It's important for everything going forward to make sure that all the towers have a stake in this. So,
absolutely, we're prepared to have any sort of discussion or do anything we can to prove the authenticity of that. And Maeve is like a super fan of Wilkie's and all of your candy and everything. She probably eats more than anyone in Operaeblan, actually.
Hey, are you guys making any more of those food court fizz blasters? The ones that taste like how it smells when you stand in the middle of the food court and you can smell all the different foods? Those were the best. Never should have discontinued them.
Well, they were pretty novelty. But you like the food court fizz blasters, huh?
Oh yeah, they're one of my I mean, how can you choose a favorite? But it just like every lick you get a different, like one lick it's tacos and the next one it's sushi. Oh man.
Yeah, it's weird.
I mean, you make them.
Right, I do. Yes. I do because I am Mr. Wilkie.
Right.
But please, sir, there's got to be something we can do to smooth things over here.
Yeah, we'll prove our dedication or our trustworthiness or whatever you need.
Maeve will eat any amount of candy.
I will.
All right, I think I can think of something to prove your worth. Follow me. And he begins walking to kind of the edge of the wave pool, sort of towards the center of it.
We follow.
He turns so that his back is to the wave pool, and he says, "So the core values of Wilkie's Candy Corporation are fun, friendship, and candy."
Makes sense.
Candy is
third one especially.
Maybe
Maeve nods just like, right, of course. Like she's read Wilkie's mission statement. She's on all the forums. She knows this.
Maeveline gets it. And yeah, Wilkie's looks to you, Wolt, knowingly, like he absolutely said Maeve's name correctly, even though he's super confused. So, I'm gonna need you to prove to me that you value what we value. Will you accept my challenge?
Yeah, sure thing.
Absolutely.
You said that you were here representing Lansdon Tower and want to maintain a partnership between us and Lansdon. So here's what I need you to do. And he points way up towards sort of the topmost corner of this water park. And you can sort of see where he's pointing. It's very small because it's very high up and very far off. But you kind of see a row of windows that maybe looks like they look out into more of the Multiversal Odyssey. And you see a little door right at the corner that he's pointing to. And he says, "Up there through that door next door to it is a Wilkie's storefront. I want you to go there, select the most valuable candy in the store, and bring it to me."
Like, most valuable as in most expensive? I didn't bring a lot of money. I got some loose
Don't worry
change,
about
maybe.
currency. This GM never does.
But like our favorite or the objectively the best or the...
That wasn't an answer at all.
Hey.
Okay, so we just have to head up there. I guess we can start walking.
You have 3 minutes.
Three to...
And go! Gunshot! And with his yell of gunshot, your challenge has begun. Good luck, Maven Wolt.